everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 13 of the 18-Wheeler Survival documentary. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. This is my mom.
Hello.
Linda. But before we get started, I just want to briefly say one thing. So, it has been a very, very hard few weeks, month for me. And I felt like everything was just falling apart around me. Everything. And what I realized was everything that was falling apart around me were things that I built in my life. And I realized that God is rebuilding the walls that are falling down. And He's making them stronger. So if you're going through something where you feel like the walls are caving in on you, don't give up, because trust God and believe in God that He's going to go ahead and rebuild the right walls for you. Sturdy walls that are not going to break. So, with that being said, welcome. All right, so we are going to pick up where we left off, and I hope that you're ready for this episode because it's going to be a big episode. I got to take a deep breath for this. So, let's go.
Okay, so last episode, oh my gosh, she walked for the first time.
On
it
her
was on my birthday. So she's been at Grady Hospital for 3 weeks and in the step-down floor for like 2 days. So has just left the ICU and is it's a miracle working on going home, but things aren't done yet. She still has an open abdomen and she's still learning how to walk, and she's still, having trouble talking sometimes. And she saw her missing teeth and just how emaciated she looked for the first time in 3 weeks. So that was quite a, I don't know, it was
hard.
It was hard. Yeah,
to say it lightly.
So we're coming to close to some more crazy stuff happening. Okay, so one thing that was happening at this time was the wound vac was not working properly. So they had to remove it, and then they went back to doing the wet and dry dressings on her open abdomen, because they were like, okay, we're going to have to do a skin graft on her. They said that they weren't going to be able to close her abdomen and do a whole major abdominal wall reconstruction, close her up, stitch her up and stuff.
Because I was too swollen.
She was too swollen. There was a lot of infection that they were afraid that, if it might come back, then they would have to reopen her. So they just wanted to keep her open. And so they were doing the wet dry dressings. And that following Tuesday, they made the appointment in the OR to do the skin graft. And that was
horrible.
That was horrible. They said, "Oh, it's just gonna feel like you got a road rash, like somebody dragged you across the road, and they had to take 2 swatches of skin off of her left thigh, and
I still have a mark there.
Yes, still has. You could still see perfectly rectangular portions taken off of her.
Imagine a meat slicer at the deli, and not to be nasty or anything, but that's the reality of what I went through.
Yeah.
And so it sliced off, a good portion of my skin, and they had to put that slice on my open abdomen.
They had to do 2 slices.
And it was there. How long was that on there for?
Your skin graft was on for 8 months.
Whew, yeah, and I remember being in the hospital bed, and they had to, they covered my, where they took the skin from on my left thigh, they covered it, and it was just weeping. It was just dripping, and so they had to put towels underneath my thigh. It was burning. It was terrible. It was It was terrible. I don't wish that pain on my worst enemy. And I remember when they made an appointment to come in to remove the staples, to remove the covering over my left eye. And I'm like I looked at my mom and I'm like, the staples, man, they went around this huge covering over my left open area on my thigh, and they went around and stapled, literally big staples to my skin. So they had to come in and they had to go ahead and remove. I still have marks from the staple marks on my thigh. So, yeah. But you know what? I'm here. We got through it, but it was hard. Recovering from that, and then next thing you know, Dr. Nicholas comes down to go ahead and talk to my mom. So now, I'm doing good, in recovery still, but here comes Dr. Nicholas.
Yeah, so Dr. Nicholas comes down and says, hey, things are looking really good. We're probably going to discharge her in about a week or so. And, but once she's discharged, you're going to have to come back. I need to see her at about once a week to start out. And I looked at her, I'm like, oh no, when you discharge her, we're going home. We do not live here in Atlanta. We're going home. And he was like, where's home? And I said, Delaware. And he was like, what's your hospital closest to you in Delaware? And I said, Christiana Hospital in Newark. And he was like, I have a colleague, a very close colleague that works at Christiana Hospital. I want you to see him. And he gives me all of his information, and he says, call and make an appointment as soon as possible. And because, sometimes it takes a few weeks to get into a doctor, see a doctor.
Months, okay.
But so I did my research, and I was like, okay,
Google.
Who is this Dr. Glenn Tinkoff, And I was like thrilled to find out that he is one of the top docs, critical care, trauma surgeon, not just at Christiana Hospital in Delaware, but the whole mid-Atlantic area. He is very well known. And I was like, wow, I was like so excited. So I called the office and talked to Rose, the receptionist, and she said, oh, well, Dr. Tinkoff is on vacation right now, because it's a holiday time, right? He's on vacation right now, and he's not accepting any new patients. So I told her, Sanaya's story, told her that Dr. Jeffrey Nicholas referred her to him, to Dr. Tinkoff. So she wrote everything down. She says, okay, I'll send Dr. Tinkoff an email, and we'll see what he says. And as soon as I hear from him, I'll get back to you. So
we prayed.
And if this is who God wanted Sanaya to see to be her doctor in Delaware, then God would open up that door. So the very next morning, 9 a.m., I get a phone call from
the
Rose.
critical care unit, Christiana.
From Rose. And I was like, oh, God, I hope this is good news. And she said, well, I emailed Dr. Tinkoff, and he responded right away. And he absolutely wants to see Sanaya. We were so excited. We were so excited and so grateful and so thankful. I mean, there was no thinking. It was just like he said he wanted me
to be his patient,
to see her. That was very exciting. That was a very exciting day.
When things seem hopeless, you can't give up.
That's right.
You have no other choice but to keep going.
That's right. There were some dark clouds, but there was always a silver lining. There was always this burst of light that would come through, that God was like, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still working behind the scenes and taking care of things. So that was a very exciting day for us. And, and now she's, like I said, she's down in the 6th floor, the step down floor. And your cousin Tabby, she went home on that following Saturday after my birthday, and I think it was like on the 14th or something. But anyway, that was very sad. We were very sad when she left.
When you have people supporting you,
she
and
was
loving
such a
you,
big help.
Yeah. but it was almost time for me to go home. So I remember during these times of me, waking up more and about to be discharged soon, I was having major dreams. And I was dreaming that Tabby and my Aunt Felicia worked at a McDonald's. And the McDonald's was in the hospital, right? And it was like, the setting was in McDonald's. It was the weirdest thing. And I'm like, why is there a McDonald's in the hospital, And then when I was getting discharged and I was getting wheeled out in the wheelchair, and I remember getting wheeled out and smelling the fresh air and seeing people walking around on the sidewalk. I never thought that I was going to be able to see that again. It was like I was reborn,
Coming back to life.
Yeah. But then the car was parked waiting for us to come in, and guess what was connected to the hospital right by the car that I was getting into? A McDonald's. A McDonald's was connected to Grady Hospital. And I looked at my mom and I told my mom about my dreams. And I was like, did anybody ever come into my room with like McDonald's food? Maybe I smelled it.
Nope.
She was like, no.
Not one time.
And I'm like, did you guys talk about McDonald's?
No.
No. So it's just like, I don't know why. I can't even tell you, but it was just very weird to me that happened. So we are, going through the airport, getting ready to go home. Had to go through a whole bunch of metal detectors, and it was not easy. I mean, it was because I had
going
this
through TSA.
In a
wheelchair.
This surgery, this major abdominal surgery for the skin graft from my thigh to my abdomen, just happened days before. So I'm still like in major critical condition, and it was hard. But I just wanted to get home, and
that was not easy. That whole transitioning out of the hospital, and the flight, wearing seatbelts, going through TSA,
the bumps on the airplane.
It was brutal. It was brutal.
The bumps in the car, going through speed bumps. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But it's just like, we're gonna go through hard times in this life. It's not going to be easy. It says it in the Bible. You are going to go through tough times.
That's right.
But he's here. He's right there. Even though it may seem like he's not, in the midst of me going through one of the most traumatic times of my life, God still was there making a way. And just wait. Like, in the next episode, we're going to go ahead and talk about me getting to Delaware and going to Christiana Hospital for the first time, and that was a whole situation. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm talking about like Dr. Tinkoff and another doctor, like not like physically fighting, but they were arguing over me, and like it was just
we'll talk about that next episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next episode. So this is a quick episode, you guys. Do you have anything else that you want to say? Anything that we missed, maybe?
Well, I just want to kind of reiterate that her accident happened on December 20th of 2012, and she was discharged from Grady Hospital on January 21st, 2013.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Sheesh, that's a long time.
That was a long time. But you know what? Some people have been in the hospital even longer than that. It's a miracle that you were only in there for a month.
I know, right?
Really?
Yeah. So, if you're in a tough situation,
trust God.
Trust God. And if you don't believe in God, And if you're watching this and you're like, what are these ladies talking about? God, this, and I'm going through a traumatic time. How can I trust in someone that I don't see? Well, you feel the wind, right? You don't see the wind. And
But
I'm
you
here
know
to
it's
tell
there.
you that God is real. He is working. He is on your side.
He loves you.
All you got to do is have faith. Don't give up. Don't give up hope. And even now, still going through traumatic times, still I'm going through. But my faith is strong, though. And I'm getting through it.
That's right, because he did it before. He's going to do it again. He's a God of miracles.
Yeah. So, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right.
For
quick,
today.
Quick episode. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. If you have not already subscribed, please do that. I would really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
because this story is not over.
No, there's a lot to it still. I told my mom that I really want to go ahead and hit the high moments going forward, continuing in this 18-wheeler survival documentary, because my mom is going to be writing a book sooner than later, and she is going to include all of the moments.
More details, yeah. Be a little bit more detailed.
Yeah. So we're just going to hit the high moments, the miracles, and yeah. All right. So thank you very much. Like I said, please subscribe if you have not already. Comment, share, follow along, and like. And I wish you guys the best.
Amen.
Bye. Bye, you guys. Thank you.